Uh, no, it looks like it's on.
Okay.
All
Whenever
right.
you're ready.
Okay. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us. So what I wanted to get on here, my name is Jonathan. I'm a business development officer with LiftFund. So I wanted to just get on here this morning and talk about some of the relief efforts that we're doing at LiftFund, and also just give advice on what to do during these times. And I know Launch SA is doing a great job. Daniela and I were just talking about the amount of work that we're putting in to help out you businesses that are being affected right now. We just know that we're here for you. We are working probably more than we've ever had before, and we are in crisis management. So we're here to help and support you in any way we can. One of the things I did want to touch on is the resources that are available with Launch SA, such as these Google Hangouts that are going to be workshops and also just mentoring roundtables. These are going on. Daniela, do you mind adding what days they are coming on? I know you have the morning grind.
Yes. So because we used to be all accessible throughout the library and walk-ins, we're having two programming rolled out. The Fresh Perspectives, which is these sessions. This is the first week that we've done it. It was on Monday. We had Brett Pyatt with Jungle Disc. He owns a tech company in San Antonio. Jody Newman with the Friendly Spot was on Wednesday, and she was just giving perspectives around her business, how she dealt with her employees, and what other businesses in the service industry can do to know if their business is going to survive this situation or not. And we're releasing all the recordings from those throughout the weeks to come. So if you didn't catch some of those, you can catch them. And if you go to Eventbrite, you can see the new speakers. So we have people in the marketing industry for you to talk about messaging and branding, like how can you relate to your customers in this time. I think a great resource today is LiftFund and Jonathan talking about what other I guess support there is to be given out by institutions like LiftFund, the city, the county, SBA, and other institutions. So if you're interested, it's going to be these sessions are Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10:30 to 11:30, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays we do the morning grinds. And the morning grinds is just like an open forum because you're at home and you are unable to talk to other small business owners. I think being able to provide a forum where entrepreneurs, small business owners can go in and discuss what they're going through, maybe if they learn about something new. So those are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 10, I'm sorry. And then we also have the Facebook group, which is the Launch SA community group that you're welcome to join. And that one is just to keep the conversation going. If you're interested in sharing insights, or even if you're pivoting your business and now you're doing some sort of new approach, you can put it in there, and that way people can support you.
Right, and I'd also like to point out, correct me if I'm wrong, Daniela, but through Launch SA, also you have a network of mentors that you can connect them with, people that have been in industry for a while, in various industries for a while. They're going through the same thing right now, but maybe have a little more experience, and someone, if you want, on a one-on-one setting to be able to connect with and get advice with. It's something that you can reach out to Launch SA for as well.
Correct. And even more so in these times, we have a lot of lawyers, CPAs, just general business owners reaching out to us and be like, how can I help? How can I provide my know-how to other entrepreneurs that are struggling right now? So if you let us know what you're like, if you want to go over your financials with someone, if you need a lawyer to revise a contract, like we have people like that right now, and they've reached out because there's a whole community that's willing to support, and we have a wide network of mentors that are open to discussing with you. So don't think about it like, hey, I don't see the program listed in the next workshops or whatever is already in our page. Let us know. There's a personalized assistance form that you can fill out, and let us know what you need, and we can connect the dots for you.
Yep.
Thank you for that, Jonathan.
Yes, of course. So one of the things I want to talk about first is I really am really proud of how our local community is coming together. And I'm not just talking about our efforts through Launch SA and through LiftFund. Just as a whole, our city and our county have come to the table, very quickly to address COVID-19 and the effects to the economy. We've seen everybody. This is really an all hands on deck approach, citywide and countywide, and get growing within the state as well. I haven't seen this across the country. I've seen this personally here, though. We've seen, such as what I'm going to talk about today, Bexar County come to the table with funds to help out small businesses. This has been in the works since early last week. So this is something that has been worked on and has been thought about before. We're getting to a point now where we're deploying it. We actually deployed it earlier this week. And it's something that I'm really proud of our community for coming together for. I know that other organizations are also doing similar workshops, and just everyone's just keeping good spirits and good vibes around. I've been asked to be on several other organizations that are doing similar relief approaches. So first I wanted to just talk about how proud I am about our community coming together during this time. I'm going to go ahead and Danielle, I think if I hit present now, I can show a screen, right?
I think so. If you go to present now, it will be the share screen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the program that I wanted to talk about today, and what we're doing here in San Antonio, in Bexar County. So it doesn't necessarily need to be in San Antonio. This is our Small Business Disaster Relief Loan and Grant Program. So as I mentioned, Bexar County was one of the first to come to the table with funds to help businesses that have been affected by COVID-19 pandemic. We have received $5 million to be able to lend out at a rate of 0% to small businesses that have seen a reduction of at minimum 15 to 20% in revenue. That's the minimum. So I know a lot of businesses have been affected more than that. We're just asking to see at least a minimum 15 to 20%. So these loans are going to be for up to $25,000. That's $25,000 at a rate of 0% on a term anywhere from 24 to 36 months, depending on the amount that is being borrowed at the time. We are asking that if you are not needing the full 25, that we go ahead and go through a 6-month recovery program plan. We'll do that one-on-one with you so that we can figure out how much funds you're needing. We're asking that you only take what you're needing, so that way we can maximize this across the footprint and be able to assist as many businesses as possible. This is an emphasis on small businesses with 10 or less employees with revenues not exceeding $1 million. So we're really looking to impact those businesses that are what are considered micro to small businesses. Again, that's 10 employees or less, revenues not exceeding $1 million. We do want to see that it's an existing business. So this is for businesses that have been operating since at least August 19th, 2019. What we're going to be looking at is we are going to have criteria for this. So it is going to be our normal criteria as far as we're going to look at credit. We don't have a minimum credit score requirement, so don't be afraid if there's some credit issues there to reach out and talk about it. That just might affect the amount that we're able to lend to you when we look at credit. So we're just looking at your credit, and if there's been some credit issues due to this, we can prove that it was due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We may be able to still work on it. We're also going to look at capacity. Capacity is going to be the ability to repay the loan. We understand right now everyone's taking a hit, so you're not going to be able to prove that current. What we're doing is we're looking at prior to a COVID-19 pandemic. We were looking at your financials then to see if it's something that you could have taken on prior to being affected by the pandemic. So that could, if there was a situation where you weren't in the best situation at that time, there might be other programs available for you that we can connect you with. But this is really for businesses that were that were able to make a loan payment at the time and are now have been affected, and now there's been a decrease. This is going to be specifically for working capital to help sustain the business or sustain employees. It's not going to be to refinance debt or anything like that. It's really a working capital loan. The other thing we're going to look at is collateral. So we are going to require collateral for our loans. We've got a little bit of flexibility here. LiftFund, traditionally, we're a creative lender when it comes to collateral. So collateral can be any business assets that you currently have, or maybe there's something that you need to purchase. I know a lot of businesses right now are having to pivot their business from the way they've been doing it to doing it as another way. So there might be equipment involved in what they're needing, in the way they're conducting business now. We can use that equipment to secure the loan. We can use personal vehicles. We can, just reach out and talk to us so that we can see what we can use to secure this loan. So those are going to be the three requirements that we're going to be looking at. I encourage you, if you are needing funds right now, to reach out to us so that we can give you a better idea of how much we're going to be able to assist, or if we will be able to assist. Again, that's $5 million that we're going to be lending out at a rate of 0%. There is a 4-month payment deferment. So if you're worried about not being able to make a payment right now, payments won't begin for 120 days. So we're hoping this doesn't go on, and it may be adjusted if it does. But one of the things we're doing is we're allowing that 120-day grace period of your first payment to be made, so that we can help you, give you time to start revenue back up and be able to afford to make this loan payment. There was a grant program also included in this. It was for $250,000 total. And there were grants in the amount of $5,000. We have exceeded applications currently, so our link is currently down. But I encourage you to keep on checking our website, because some funds may be available, or we may get additional funding to open that grant program back up. So just keep on looking at our website. Our website is listed there. It's liftfund.com, and you'll see it's liftfund.com/disaster-relief-program-2020. This is recorded, so you'll be able to screenshot it, and I know it's a little complicated to
I'll send it to the chat. That way people can, people like Mike, who's in the call.
Yeah, so if you'll send that in the chat, or also if they can screenshot this, that'll be easy for them to go onto the website. If you just go to liftfund.com, there's a big red button in the middle that says COVID-19 disaster relief programs. You can also click there. That's our landing page. It's going to have all updates on any programs that we have going on. So if you want to go ahead and check it, keep posted on that website to see any updates as we receive additional funding. That's what we're doing in San Antonio right now. Our loans, our disaster relief loans, are going up to $50,000. However, under this 0%, it's capped at 25. So if you're needing it more than 25,000, still reach out to us. Look to us for up to 50,000 for this relief. Our regular rates will apply unless we receive additional funding, but we have a lot of funders that are reaching out to us, and we're in discussions with a lot of funders on different programs we can do to help out these small businesses. So I would just encourage you to keep posted with us, keep in contact with us, and we'll update you as soon as possible. Now, if there's any existing customers that have been affected and they have a loan with LiftFund, we're also helping out existing customers. So the loan program is available to existing customers as well as new customers, but we're also looking at payment assistance. If you're not able to make payments, we are considering payment deferments, or what we call extensions. So we call them extensions. So it's basically extending your term of your loan up to 3 months. So we're considering up to 3 months of extending your term. So that means that you won't have payments for up to those 3 months, and that's another way of you being able to sustain the business. On our website, we're doing consultations. Everything is gone web now. So you'll see that there's liftfund.com/resources /contact us. This is going to be if you need some one-on-one support from a business advisor. You can schedule a one-on-one consultation there. You can reach out to us by phone to schedule those consultations. We have a list of workshops that are going to be going on our events page. So if you go to our events page, we have workshops that are going on, just like we've always done, typically in person, but we're doing it now via web. So we're going to be doing them online, just like this. So just keep up to date. And, I know we don't have too many people on here, but if there's any questions, I want to open it up to any questions that I can maybe address one-on-one here in this setting. I know, Daniela, we have one, right?
Yeah, I think he just unmuted. Mike, do you want to type in your question or just talk to Jonathan, take this opportunity?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
A little bit.
Yeah, thank you guys for providing this resource. I'm with a company called...
Can you hear him, Jonathan?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Mike, if you don't mind talking just a little bit louder.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm with a company called Blueprint Financial. So I'm tuning into all these resources because I'd like to be a resource for my clients and prospects. So the information you're providing is really, really beneficial. Many of our clients though are in the medical industry, and they have their own practices. Are they defined as quote unquote small businesses as well, or no?
Yes, so they are considered small businesses.
Okay. And then
now,
Daniela, as you mentioned, I'm trying to reach out to many people as well, just trying to be a second set of eyes for them or to assist them with a lot of their questions.
I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know if your mic, where you have your mic, if you can find it and speak to it, just because it's very.
Can you hear me now?
Just a little bit. Let me see. Let me up the volume. Okay.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. My second point was I'd like to be a resource to many of those individuals reaching out to you as well regarding their finances. We help many of our clients look at opportunities to save money. I know many of them have gotten a delay of 90 days to filing their taxes. And many of these companies that you're helping and Daniel's helping qualify for what we call a QBID deduction. And basically, if they're servicing customers, they qualify for a 20% deduction from their income on an annual basis. And this is something that's new. It's, excuse me, it was started in 2018 and it's an official deduction. But many of the people we've been able to sit down with asking if their CPAs or themselves are currently taking advantage of it, they aren't. And then after we send them the information, they realize that they do qualify for this. So it's another way to help them out in this time of need. So Daniela, what I'd like to do is just provide you with my contact information. So anybody that needs assistance from, we're in financial services, so we cover a lot of topics, but I'm happy to educate and assist anybody that I can that's reaching out to you for assistance.
Thank you. That really helps. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the call, we're getting a lot of people like yourself that are open and willing to help in this time of need. So if you want to type in your information in the chat or fill out if you go to our page and go to get involved, there's a mentor, volunteer, a partner form that we have.
And it's called Get Involved?
Yes. If you go to Launch Essay, it's on the upper right-hand corner. It says Get Involved. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Okay.
If you fill it out, or just send me your email and I can send it over.
Yeah, I'm sending it real quick. Oh, sorry, I typed too fast. I'm sending you a quick info on my chat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Mike, that was a great example of what I was talking about earlier, how our community really is coming together. Offering there and helping out people affected. I mean, I think we're seeing that across our community, and it's a great thing. One of the things that I didn't touch on that I want to touch on as well, So I talked about the LiftFund loans and what we're offering and what we're offering to existing customers. But SBA is also offering funding. That is called the SBA Economic Injury Loan. So that this is the only loan that is offered directly through SBA. It's the only loan that they administer themselves. On their website at sba.gov, a business can also go on there and submit a request. These can be, so you can take advantage of ours and you can also take advantage of theirs. Now, I know these are low cost loans. I believe the rate is 3.75 for for-profit businesses and 2.5 for nonprofit businesses. The cap on these is, I believe it's $2 million. So it's a much larger amount that you can obtain. From what I'm hearing, the first 25,000 is unsecured, so it doesn't require collateral. And then anything after that would require collateral, but I'm sure with SBA, being a government entity, there's going to be some flexibility there. So I encourage you to go on to sba.gov to get more information on the economic injury loan there. I know there's a bill that is currently in process right now that is to provide additional funding. This most likely will be for the SBA economic injury loan, but it's also going to be for existing SBA loans. So this is not official yet until it passes. But if you have an existing SBA loan, the current parameters are saying that there can be a payment deferment on the principal, so it'll be interest-only payments for up to 3 months. With this new bill, what it's actually saying is that it could be principal and interest uh, payment deferment for up to 6 months. That'd be 6 months, no payments if this passes, that financial institutions are able to allow. A lot of financial institutions, all financial institutions, when there's an SBA loan, are limited to the protocol of SBA because of the SBA guarantee. So although they would want to help right now, we have to wait for this bill to pass in order to do it under an SBA loan. If you have a conventional loan, I encourage you to reach out to your lender and ask about payment assistance, payment deferment before you get to the point where the payment is late. This is going to protect your credit, and it's also going to protect your capital. So I encourage you to reach out to your lenders, talk to them, have an honest conversation about what's going on with your business, and if there's anything they can do to assist. I was on a call with a couple other banks a couple of days ago, and almost all institutions are offering some form of assistance right now. So please just talk to the lenders. You don't want this to affect you severely, so get ahead of it so that it doesn't affect your credit and it doesn't affect your cash flow much. I know that's going to be affected no matter what, but let's minimize that effect there. Daniela, do you have any questions you want to pick my brain
I mean,
about?
I just want to make sure that people understand that the financial assistance that's given out, like the BRAD account, the differences between grant and a loan. I don't know if you can go into detail, just that they make sure that a loan is something that you'll have to pay back and you have to kind of prove, or we want to make sure that you as a business are able to pay it after all this is over and after your business is up and running. So I don't know if you have a better definition of what's a grant and what's a loan. So there's no confusion out there when they're applying to, maybe they're applying to both, and just what are the main differences, or what's the difference between both of them?
Yeah, so exactly that. A loan does need to be repaid. So principal, for example, ours instead of 0%, principal does need to be paid back. You're not being accrued any interest on it, but it does need. If you take out 25,000, you still have to pay back that 25,000. You're just not paying any interest on it. So what we're doing is we want to see that prior to this, that you have the capability to repay that loan payments. So we're going to be looking at your financials to see if prior to January 30th is what we're identifying as kind of the date this started snowballing. If before January 30th you had the financial capability to absorb the loan payments, that you're going to be taking on. Now, a grant is going to be completely different. A grant does not need to be paid back. A grant is going to be funds that are given directly to you and do not require any repayment. Now, there may be other stipulations, like they want to monitor your recovery, or maybe touch base with you and have follow through on it. But as far as repayment, that when you talk about grants, that's not required on a grant. Many people have been asking if it's one or the other. No, you can take advantage of both. You can apply for grants, apply for loans. It shouldn't affect you unless you're applying for multiple loans. So an example of that is if you're applying for the SBA economic injury loan as well as a LiftFund loan, we are going to have to take into account the loan payment that you're going to be having with SBA when account, and then our loan payments to see if it's absorb that. So that's going to be the main difference there between loans and grants.
Okay, and another thing is like, how does it affect if somebody already has a loan? It like, if you can explain, like if you already have a loan with LiftFund or with another institution, how can that affect someone's application, or just
Yeah,
in
sure.
general?
If you already have existing loans, we are going to be accounting for that loan payments. So we're going to be, again, looking at financials before this happened and see if you were supporting that payments, and if you have the capability to support this new payment. So that's how it can be affected when applying for a new loan, is we do have to account for that liability or that debt, that loan payment.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if anybody else, Mike, do you have a question? Any of the
Yeah,
mics?
I know. I kind of came in here late, so forgive me if some of this is duplicated. So speaking of, let me kind of back up here a little bit. I got 3 questions. So the first one is, did you discuss anything regarding this this payroll package they're talking about, or this payroll forgivable loan? Is that part of the SBA thing, or do you have any idea about what's going on with that?
Yeah, that's not part of the stimulus bill. I didn't discuss it. I'm not too. I don't have all the parameters on that. I'm not too familiar with what's gonna, until it's released. I just really don't have a lot of information on
Okay,
the.
so that's still in the works. It hasn't been passed yet. I take it, right?
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, and now I did also discuss. I know you heard. I think you had came in during this part of the bill, and there's a lot of misconception that's out right now. Is that the bill has been passed? It has been. It has not passed quite yet. So
The House, yeah.
yeah, so this is going to be things that are may come, but we have to wait. We don't want to send out the information saying it's a for sure thing until it is. So I'd given some information about existing SBA loans and on how the payment deferment, if you have an existing SBA loan, the payment deferment on it. Again, that's not currently the way it is. It's just something that needs to be passed, and that's the potential.
Okay. So that's a wait and see. Okay. Is everybody still maintaining the same qualification requirements on this, or is that easing a little bit because businesses are suffering and there's just or is it pretty much going to be the same qualification standards for these loans or whatever?
So I would say that there is some flexibility. It's similar qualifications. So the flexibility that I've been seeing is specifically on the capacity part of it, the ability to repay the loan or cash flow. I understand everyone's affected right now, so cash flow is not going to look as ideal as prior to this. So what a lot of institutions are doing are not looking at your current situation, because the cash flow obviously is going to be tight or very low or minimal. So we're looking at prior to this. What we're doing as an institution, how we're looking at cash flows, we're identifying January 30th as kind of the date when this started happening. So we're looking at prior to January 30th. So that's one flexibility we're doing there. I've seen some flexibility on collateral requirements. There is some flexibility there on, maybe we don't need as much collateral because we want to get this assistance out, and other things as well. Some of them are waiving, like SBA, they're waiving collateral requirement on 25,000 or below. So that's some requirements that are being relaxed there. As far as a loan product, because it is a loan and there's repayment involved, there's not as much on the credit. There's not as much leeway on credit. So that's the one thing that I want to tell people is the credit is the credit requirements are still going to be there. Again, we have to protect our capital. These are our funds that are going out. We want to make sure repayment is there's got to be some standards there for repayment.
Okay. So yeah, I'm in a weird position, and I'm trying to see how to use the situation in a positive light, right? So timing on this, it makes me it's like I don't know how really I can take advantage of this stuff, right? Because our cash flow has actually increased, right? Mm-hmm. And it's because of the timing of a big release, right? So, but I don't know sustained, what's it going to be like in 3 months? Are we going to be growth, or are we going to be stagnant? But I think we're in this weird situation where our cash flow, if you look at what's happened in, March, we had this huge jump, right? So that's I think my fear is everybody's going to be looking at us and go, well, you don't need any help because your cash flow is way up. And it's like, yeah, but that's, I don't think that's really true predictive of how this is going to be over the next 3 to 6 months. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe we're lucky. I don't know. But I'm just trying to see what resources that, how can we get ahead in times like this, right? I think, that's the way I have to look at this is not how do we survive? It's like not only how do we survive, but how do we thrive in times like this? Can we take advantage of some of this looser capital standards because it's been so hard to get access to capital? Can we thrive in an environment like this? I guess that's more of my question is how do we get ahead or how do we thrive in something like this?
Yeah. So Mike, for you, one thing that I would be on the lookout for is the grants that are available. If you're having issues that are as far as obtaining capital, grants are not going to have the same requirements as loans.
Yeah.
So one thing that I would be on the lookout, I mentioned that we have a grant available right now. We're at capacity, so that it's not currently open. It's open for about 2 days, and then we received so many applications that we had to temporarily close it. We are seeking additional funds to be able to deploy. But I think that's something.
I'll trade you some of this to get on the list.
I'm not in control of that list.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I would look at. Grants is one thing. Another thing is, if you are at a point where you can obtain capital as far as capacity wise, regular loans are still happening. So no financial institution is shut down right now. We're all still lending under. We're not just doing these disaster relief loans. We're also doing regular lending. So it's not going to hurt you. Your cash flow is kind of in a good situation right now. If anything, a lender might say, well, he's doing well during this time. Maybe we can consider something. So I want to out there. We're not all financial institutions are not just doing disaster relief, and that's the same thing with LiftFund. We're not doing just disaster relief. We are still doing regular loans as well.
Okay, I think those are my main 3 things I'm trying to figure out in these environments. So
okay,
so if we can get cheap, low capital, I mean, I know when all this gets taken care of, it's going to be a good opportunity to grow. I hope so.
Yeah, and the silver lining behind this is that we're going to see rates at a lower rate for a while. So even when this once this is over, we're still going to be in recovery mode. So we're still going to be having lower interest rates for a while. The Federal Reserve probably won't be raising rates for quite some time. I'm thinking, in my opinion, for at least a year, the Federal Reserve won't be raising rates, which that affects banks and credit unions and lenders on how much we charge on our interest rates. So the good thing is that if a business is able to stand this time, there's an opportunity for thriving afterwards as well and that there's going to be lower cost of capital there for a while.
Okay, so for me, a good strategy to make sure I go through credit, any little cleanup I can do to get that score up to where it would be good would be great, because we can probably get access to capital at a rates that I haven't seen in a while. That would be a good strategy then, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we're going to be seeing this for.
And I won't miss out on anything if I don't do it tomorrow. I'm not going to miss out on it. It sounds like it's going to be around for a little while.
Yeah, I think rates are going to be down for a while. We had been seeing a steady increase in the the prime rate over the last probably about a year. We've been seeing about 1/4% almost every quarter. It had been going up. Due to this, you've seen a drastic decrease in the prime rate. Federal Reserve rate is down to 0, right? So banks and credit unions that are able to borrow from the Federal Reserve, they're borrowing at 0% right now. So that, of course, there's still cost involved on operating their business, so they still have to charge interest, but it's lower than it normally is when there is an interest rate involved. And I don't see that increasing much over the next year. Of course, we have to regulate the economy, so there is going to be an increase in there eventually, but I think it's going to be a slow increase.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions or anything you think it would be useful to add, Jonathan?
I think I've covered pretty much everything. I do want to send a message just saying that everyone stay strong during this. LiftFund, Launch SA, all community organizations and resources, reach out to them for assistance. Everyone, like I said earlier, everyone is pulling together. We're all available. It's a little different time right now, that we can't meet with you in person. Once we get through this, we'd be happy to. So I just wanted everyone to stay informed, stay plugged in, and just be a community.
Yeah, I want to, on that note, just please be patient with any resource that's out there, because we're getting like a flow of request assistance and requests for help from all sides. So we're trying to manage that, but make sure to still reach out and tell us what you need, because we don't know what we don't know. Like, if you don't tell us, like, hey, I need, like, this will be a great resource, that way we can provide the right content for you. So please still reach out. And for, like Jonathan said, check the LiftFund page, be kind of first thing you do in the morning, because we never know when are we going to get more funds from the county or new release from other loans. So make sure to be in the lookout for those if you're interested in, or if you want to share with someone, make sure so they're in the lookout for that information.
Yeah, and I want to also just emphasize that definitely the funds that are coming in rapidly. Funders are reaching out to us very quickly and saying, hey, I want to help support these efforts. I want to do a grant, or I want to contribute to the loan program. I mean, we raised over $6 million within a matter of days for disaster relief. So just stay informed, because we don't even know how quickly it's coming in, because the calls are coming in constantly, and we're deploying it as fast as possible as well.
Okay, I don't know if anybody else has something to add. Thank you, Jonathan, so much for your time. I know you're very busy, so I appreciate you taking the time to do this session with us. Again, reach out to us. We have these sessions Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10:30 to 11:30, and then the morning grinds on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 10.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Toodles.
Bye.